Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I want to talk about something that is always a hot topic with people. I want to talk about difficulty in video games. Now, let's just get this out of the way. This is not something that is, this is a very divisive subject. Throughout this video, I want to talk about just sort of my own feelings on it, but I want to talk about something specific mainly, and how I think you can essentially solve the problem with difficulty in games, whether a game's too easy or too hard. So, overall thoughts before I get into this main topic, I want to just say, I am of the opinion that I think all games should have a easy mode or a hard mode, or just a kind of toggle slider thing. I don't really care either way, because I play games on normal. If there is a normal mode, that's where I will start. That's usually how the game was intended to be played. But I do think that having an easy mode is fine, and people bitching and moaning, going, oh, it's gonna ruin my game. It's if it's a single player game, who cares? If it's an online game, that's different. But if it's a single player game, it doesn't affect you, doesn't affect me, whatever, cool. But, it's the same with games being, having hard modes and stuff. It's if a game's too easy and you want to have a hard mode, yeah, just put a hard mode in there, double damage, single hit kill, whatever, anything that, so that there's a nice sort of range for people to enjoy a game at. But honestly, overall, I play a game on normal. If I find a game too difficult on normal, then yeah, maybe I will whack it down, but maybe that game's not for me, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely think people complaining about single player games having options, and obviously this comes up a lot of the time when From Software, the people that make Dark Souls, who made Sekiro, who made Bloodborne, when every time one of those games comes out, that's when this conversation comes back up. And it's always the case. It's people are saying, oh, it's a bit hard, give us some easy options or accessibility options, all that kind of stuff. Now, from what I heard, actually, Sekiro actually has a tutorial starting area that lets you spend as much time in it as you want to practice the mechanics of the game, which is what I think Dark Souls and Bloodborne should have had. Again, disagree with me if you want, but I think it's cool that they have that because it fits in with the theme of the game. And you can't die there, and you can just practice and practice and practice and practice. And I think that's what those games need. They maybe don't need a slider per se in difficulty, but they should definitely have a place where you can just practice. And I think that's kind of cool, and that makes sense. Now, honestly, my solution to the whole thing is I think that we need to bring back cheat codes for most games. Because growing up, when I played a lot of video games, I did cheat because I was terrible at them, or it's just because I wanted to see the rest of the game and got stuck. The Tony Hawk series was a great example of that. Loads and loads of fun cheats. Unlock all the content, unlock all the skaters, unlock all the videos, unlock all the levels. Now I can probably do that. I can spend that time and do that and get better at the game. But as a kid, I was crap at it. So I wanted to see the rest of the content. I wanted to be able to play multiplayer with my brother on various different levels and not just the couple that we did. Other games that I played, things like Looney Tunes Space Race on the Dreamcast. Cheats for that, it was great. That game was hard when I was a kid, so we could play all the extra levels. Army Men Sarge's Heroes, unlock all the levels, level skip. Unreal Tournament on the Dreamcast, God Mode. A lot of stuff I had on the Dreamcast I did have cheats for, that's what I had. But that Dreamcast, N64, PlayStation 1 era, and even later than that, GTA 2. That game had full of cheats. That entire series was full of cheats. It's kind of what that series is known for. And I think cheats are always a great thing to have because, you could choose to essentially, play the game at your pace, at the way you wanted to play. If you just wanted to experience the game, if you just wanted to dick around, if you wanted to unlock all the content so you and your friend could play all the different levels or things like that. I think there's no harm in putting cheats into a game. And I think the problem is, the reason we don't see cheats anymore is a few different reasons. Firstly, it's because most games now are online and connected to online, and I would not expect cheating to be in a multiplayer game, full stop. Something like Bloodborne, something like Dark Souls, and something like Spider-Man, for example, that came out on PlayStation, God of War. A lot of these games are single player primarily. You can play Dark Souls and Bloodborne and things online, and you see other people running around. But if you choose to play that offline, I think there should be codes in there being hey, I just want to use God mode, no clip. All these classic kind of cheats, or, wireframe mode, fun stuff, big head mode, that would be cool, because I think, it's just another way to enjoy the game the way you want. People can be like, oh, you're cheating yourself out of it, but it's who cares? I just want to play the game, I want to dick around in the game. Maybe I've already completed the game properly, and now I want to play it again, but, mess around. There's multiple reasons, good reasons to have cheat codes in games. We still see them from time to time, but not in a lot of big games. Another reason we don't see them is because of achievements. Since achievements have become such a huge thing on multiple platforms, they have it set that you know they don't want you to cheat to unlock them. And a lot of the time when you do use cheats, it will say like, hey, we're going to disable them. Fine, just keep it that way. I don't need to unlock achievements anyway. I don't care about them. But I want to be able to. If I want to be able to, do I want achievements or do I want to be able to mess around in this game and play it the way I want to? I definitely want the second option. I don't care about a thing popping up saying, well, hey, well done. And thirdly, it's because a lot of it gets monetized now, and people and big companies just sell them. I remember back in the day playing a fighting game, you could unlock characters. You don't really see that much anymore because they get sold as DLC or all the characters are unlocked. But you could cheat to unlock characters. You could do that. Smash Bros. Melee, a game that I absolutely loved and still do. Like, I unlocked all the characters, but I couldn't unlock all the stages because I just couldn't do what the requirements were. So I cheated. I unlocked all that stuff the first time I did it. And that was fine because that game, to me, it was like, I want to play on these stages. I want to be able to do, have fun with it. So that's what I did. Went back years later and managed to do it properly. But I really resent the fact that they're just not a thing anymore. And it solves this whole argument about, oh, a game, should a game have an easy mode or not? If you've got cheat codes in your game that, are available to use, and somebody decides to use them, you don't need to put an easy mode in. You don't need to put a hard mode in. You can literally have cheat codes to, change that. Usually a lot of the time it's game's too difficult, people want an easy mode. That's usually what the argument's for. And you'll see that, like, again, with a lot of From Software games, that's usually the case. And it's like, hey, if they decided to put cheat codes in their games, and I want to play it, say, and I'm just like, I'm stuck on this bit, I just want to get past it because I want to see the rest of the game, and I choose to cheat, that doesn't affect anybody. You don't have to put a mode in there and whatnot. Like I did it with Unreal Tournament on the Dreamcast. It's not the best version of the game. I wasn't particularly great at it as a kid. So I cheated to, see the rest of the game, to get past the time I got stuck. And, like, I was totally fine with that. Because it was fun. That's the thing about it. Cheat codes, you're only affecting your own gameplay. They're fun. Something like Grand Theft Auto, which, like I said, is known for it, is amazing. But then when they brought out the most recent one, they had a timer on it. So you were timed for how long you could use the cheats and stuff. And it's just weird. Like, the companies seem to be, like, really afraid to use them or go near them. Shovel Knight, a game that's, been regarded as like one of the best games in years as like an indie game, that has cheat codes in it. A lot of them are just cosmetic or do really silly things, but they're there. There's loads of them. You can like have them set up so you start on the last level with every single item, max health, max, and all the bells and whistles. And I think that's great. I think it's amazing that they have got these in their game. Like, I want to see that because it means I might not use them because I enjoy the game for what it is, but hey, if somebody wants to go, hey, I want to do the last level because I'm stuck on this one, or I want a level skip or something, yeah, it should absolutely be there. And there are other things we could do to change up difficulty and whatnot, but I think cheats is a way that makes everybody happy, because at any point then you don't have to worry about adding in extra modes. You don't have people going, oh, I don't want this in my game. Like, it's not up to the people that play it anyway. But it just means that the developers don't have to worry about it and be like, hey, here's a code, this unlocks this, or like, whether it's an extra difficulty mode, maybe it's a one-hit KO mode, maybe it's like big head mode. GoldenEye on the N64 was really known for this. You could unlock cheat codes. I mean, you could cheat to get the cheat codes and turn them all on and stuff, because you'd unlock them throughout, just playing the game. But there were tons of them, and some of them were really dopey. Like, you had your God mode and things like that, but like big head mode or like paintball mode, and they were fun. And that's what was cool. I like faster, slower, all that sort of stuff. And I love the fact that that was a thing. Look back at loads of classic games, there were cheat codes because it was just a part of what the gaming industry did. I want to give an example of a game that I think does difficulty really well. It's actually an indie game. So you may have heard of a game called, or you may have originally heard of a series called Bit Trip. There was a game called Bit Trip Runner. Well, Bit Trip Runner 3, or Runner 3 as it's called, when I got it, it actually has a really cool difficulty toggle in the game. So the game itself is an automatic running game. You run left to right most of the time. You jump, kick, you have all these things to do. What the game does really well is you have a difficulty option that comes up, and it's set to default, which is 100% difficulty. Now you can choose to make that harder, and you can also drop that percentage down. So you can have it so, oh, there's less enemies, or that will drop the percentage down, or you can have more enemies, that will put it up. Or you can have so checkpoints are off, so you're making it more difficult for yourself, or just leave them on. Or you can have stair assist on, meaning that it will help you go upstairs and certain parts of the level. Like the actual options that are there are really cool, and I think it's a really good way of having difficulty influence what you're doing without straight up, changing it from easy, hard, normal. Because what it means is you can go, okay, I want this game to stay at 100% difficulty, but I want to turn this one thing off and I want to turn this one thing up. So maybe you want more enemies, but you want stair assist on, and that'll make it still 100% like how the game is. But you've got that choice. And the thing I think people need to understand is that choice and like having options with difficulty or accessibility, like even if it's just accessibility options, that's a good thing. Having more of those options is always a good thing. Yes, you're always going to have people go, oh, it's the artist's vision to have the game made a specific way. And yeah, but then if you go and mod a game or you go and cheat in a game, like at the end of the day, you're playing it how you want to. And I think sometimes it's just easier to be like, hey, okay, look, there are some options here to help or hinder. I think it's always cool. Like most of the time, the commentary is around having easier modes. I absolutely think it should go both ways. I think if you've got a game that you enjoy, you think it's a bit easy, have some difficult modes in there, like Iron Man mode or like one-hit KO mode and stuff. Like they might not sound fun to me, but someone would love that in certain games. A great game that I absolutely love was Splinter Cell Blacklist, and I completed the game on normal and went back and did all the missions on hard because I wanted that challenge, and I love that game, and I always play it on the highest difficulty now because I wanted that challenge, and I think the game works really well. Like the better I got at it, the more it's set for how I wanted to play it. That's why I think it's important to have modifiers, if not sliders. If you don't want to change up easy, hard, medium, let me modify the game. Take out checkpoints. Let me let me customize it to a way that suits me. And I think that's how I feel about difficulty in video games overall. I think cheats is like the way to do it. Bring back cheat codes, do it like that. But if not, have options. I mean, I'm colorblind, so any game that has a colorblind option, I'm instantly turning that on. When I played Doom 2016 on my Switch, I turned it on. My housemate was like, what the hell, this looks really weird, but made it easier for me to see what I was doing. Great. So if I turned it off, technically I'm making it harder for myself. But having any kind of option like that, on top of it, letting me choose, I don't think that's ever a bad thing. I think that's something that developers should at least take into consideration. I'm not saying that all of them should have, you must have an easy, casual, easy, normal, very hard kind of thing. I think there just should be like options within games that, have things that allow you to do that, to adjust and customize things how you want. Like I think honestly with Dark Souls and those From Software games, people will say, it already has an easy mode, you can summon other people in and whatnot. But I think like those games are not perfect. They can be a little bit cheeky. They're designed to be a certain way at the end of the day. They are designed to teach you how to play the game through playing the game. And, it's not my cup of tea. Hands up now, I say it's not my cup of tea. I tried playing it. I didn't get on with the controls, even though I changed them up and stuff. It wasn't what I wanted to play. And the game frustrated me in a way where it's like, I'm not having fun, so this isn't for me. And that's fine. It's totally fine that it isn't for me. But I definitely was like, you know what, I think they could do some things here to maybe like give people more options. Now, people will disagree on that, and that's fine, but that's just how I feel. I think there are things in there you could probably do within the game world to make it, give people, whether you want to make it harder or easier. But I think overall, I just think games should have like dopey little cheats and things like that should be added back in, because it means that people can just play the game how they want to without having people going, we don't want an easy mode in this game, we don't want a hard mode in this game. It's like, here's some cheats, just have some codes, like, do what you want. But I mean, I doubt we'll see many games do that anymore because of the reasons I said, which is kind of sad, but we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, difficulty is an interesting thing. A lot of people get very, very up in arms about it. Sometimes certain games are just not made for you. Like, I'm looking forward to playing Yoshi's Crafted World. I still haven't got it yet. And I heard the game's easy. I don't really care. I'm going to play the game because I enjoy the gameplay. Like, I played the demo. I thought the demo was amazing. I'm not going to play something like Sekiro. I'm not going to play Bloodborne because my experience with Dark Souls, even if it was maybe like 2 to 4 hours long, it's just, it wasn't for me. It wasn't my cup of tea, and that's fine. Like, I wouldn't want to play that game with an easy mode anyway. I want to play how it's intended. But, you know, it's not for me, so that's fine. Let the people that want that challenge enjoy it. But, yeah, I think cheat codes is a great way to help people just accept, you know, like, hey, the game's made this way, but here's some, like, a debug thing. Here's, like, some cheat codes or whatever. Bloody hell, like, even old Mega Drive games or SNES games I can remember cheat codes for. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog's great. You just go into sound test, pick a level skip. Why not have that stuff in here? So, yeah. That's pretty much what I think about difficulty, guys, and that's going to be it from me today. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to hear more stuff like this, hit subscribe. And obviously feel free to have a discussion in the comments down below. I know it is a difficult topic to talk about having people get angry, but, you know, it is what it is. I think it's just one of those things. It's going to be an ongoing discussion from now until eternity, but, you know, that's my thoughts on it. But thank you very much for listening, and I will see you next video.